More now, back now at 7:45 with more on the earthquake in Japan and the tsunami warnings it has triggered in Hawaii and the West Coast. We've got Michio Kaku, a doctor of theoretical physicist, a professor, and the best-selling author. Good morning to you, doctor.
Morning.
So now the tsunami, which is the next story, is coming up in just, 15 minutes about that it's going to be hitting next after it's hit, the tsunamis have hit Japan, next hitting Hawaii. Describe the intensity that Hawaii is likely to experience based on what you know so far.
Well, the tsunami in Japan was roughly 30 feet tall, a wall of water that went almost a mile inland. When it hits Hawaii, remember that it's traveling at the speed of a jetliner going across the Pacific, which is a pond. When you look at the energy of this tsunami, when it hits Hawaii, the wave should be diminished, maybe 3 to 6 feet, but it could also go inland, and that's where the damage is going to take place. People underestimate the damage of these things. They only see a 3-foot wave, a 6-foot wave, but it could go up to a mile inland.
And as it moves towards land, it hits the continental shelf. The bottom part of it slows down, but then the intensity rises because it rises up. Is that right?
That's
right.
And
how far deep into Hawaii, based on the topography of Hawaii, could it go?
If you're an ocean liner in the middle of the Pacific, you're not going to even notice this tsunami. It'll be this little ripple that happens to be a few thousand miles long. And as this little ripple goes across the Pacific, as you say, the bottom part begins to slow down because it hits land first. That creates a jam at the bottom, so the top of the wave starts to rise as a consequence, and that's where the danger comes in. And the wave, as we knew from the 2004 tsunami in Sumatra, can go hundreds of feet, miles inland. And that's why people underestimate the danger of these things.
So what should people be doing right now if they're in Hawaii? I mean, obviously we should be calling people. It's difficult to get through on the lines because so many people are on the lines. But if we can reach via whatever social media, however we can, reach people to make sure they're awake, because it's just coming up on 3 o'clock in the morning now. Many people are asleep along the coastline. So how far inland? Where should they be going then? If it's hundreds of miles in, this is very scary.
Well, first of all, Hawaii has pioneered a sonobuoy system throughout the Pacific because of previous tsunamis. So some of the most advanced sensors are located in the Pacific. Unfortunately, we did not have them in Indonesia, and that's why 240,000 people died there. But in the Pacific, we have a large set of sonobuoys that monitor the waves as they come through. That's why we have a very accurate sense of how the intensity of the wave, when it's going to hit, because we track these things with sonobuoys throughout the Pacific.
So bottom line is get as close to higher ground as you can get. Now at about 8:45, it's supposed to be landing in what, Los Angeles?
It's going to hit the West Coast, and it's going to go down the coast, Seattle, and then to California, then to Baja California, Mexico. It's going to go rippling all the way down the coast in the next several hours.
So how far inland could that wave go? How far deeply inland should people go from the coast?
Well, by that time, most of the energy should be dissipated, we hope. So, again, we're not talking about the massive destruction we see in Japan or in Sumatra. But again, surfers, people who have beach houses, evacuation, I think, is prudent. And already emergency civil operators are warning people that they should not get close to the oceans. They should stay as far inland as possible. People should pack up their bags, in fact.
The scary thought is that really at about that time is when the surfers are generally out along the West Coast, especially in the Los Angeles area.
Yeah, that's right.
This is not the day to do it.
And, I have relatives in Japan, and they tell me that this is a nightmare beyond comprehension. Downtown Tokyo is paralyzed. The subway systems are down. Can you imagine 10 million people trying to line up for a taxi cab in downtown Tokyo? The airports are out. The rail system is out. The telephone system is out. It's a nightmare.
Dr. Michio Kaku, thank you so much this morning. And as this wave approaches Hawaii, we're going to go live there for a live report and more information, trying to bring you up to date on this. But first, these messages.